The observation deck of the International Space Station offered Commander Taewon Kim the best view of the approaching alien vessel. Its crystalline structure shimmered against the backdrop of stars, beautiful, yet somehow menacing. "They're hailing us again," said Science Officer Jisoo Park, her voice steady despite the tension. "Put them through," Taewon replied. The holographic display flickered to life, revealing the ambassador of the galactic hegemony. The alien's features were almost humanoid, but with iridescent skin that shifted colors with each movement. "People of Earth," the translator conveyed. "The hegemony welcomes you to the galactic community. We bring gifts of knowledge and technology." The world leaders gathered in New York to meet the aliens. Everyone was excited. After centuries of wondering, if humans were alone in the universe, they had their answer. The aliens called themselves the hegemony, a union of 27 species from different star systems. "We wish to share our advanced technology with your people," the lead alien told the United Nations. "We believe in helping developing civilizations." Most people welcomed the aliens with open arms. New medical devices cured many diseases. Clean energy systems replaced old power plants. Crops grew faster and stronger with alien farming methods. Taewon was one of the few who felt uneasy. As a military commander, he had been assigned to work with the aliens on defense technology. Something about their behavior made him suspicious. "They answer our questions, but they never really tell us anything," he told Jisoo one night as they reviewed the schematics for a new satellite defense system. "What do you mean?" she asked. "They talk about peace and cooperation, but they never discuss their history. They show us their technology, but never explain how it works. It's like they're giving a child a toy, but making sure we can't build our own." 6 months after first contact, Earth had changed dramatically. Alien technology was everywhere. People were healthier. Energy was clean and abundant. Wars had stopped as nations worked together with their new alien friends. But Taewon's suspicions grew stronger. He noticed the aliens were mapping Earth's resources. They were studying human biology very carefully. Their ships were appearing in greater numbers in orbit. Jisoo shared his concerns. Late one night, while examining the code of a newly installed defense system, she discovered something alarming. "Taewon, look at this," she whispered, her face pale. "I found a hidden program in the system." They worked through the night to decode it. What they found confirmed their worst fears. The message was clear. Earth was being assessed for conquest, classified as a developing civilization suitable for resource extraction and biological harvesting. "We need to warn everyone," Taewon said, reaching for his communication device. But it was too late. The attack began at dawn. Huge ships appeared suddenly in the skies above major cities. The defense systems that should have detected them did nothing. The aliens had built in a backdoor to disable them. Energy beams lanced down from the ships, destroying military bases first, then government buildings, power plants, and communication centers. The alien technology that humans had eagerly adopted turned against them. Cars stopped working, power grids failed, communications collapsed. Taewon and Jisoo were in a secure underground facility when the attack began. They watched in horror as live feeds showed the destruction before the screens went dark one by one. "They played us perfectly," Taewon said, his voice hollow. "We invited them in. We gave them everything they needed to know about us." Jisoo pulled up the last satellite images before they lost connection. Alien ground forces were landing outside major cities. They were tall, armored beings, different from the diplomatic representatives humans had met. "These aren't the same aliens we've been talking to," she noted. "Those must have been just their diplomats." The facility shook as explosions sounded above. The aliens were thorough, targeting even backup military installations. "We need to get out of here," Taewon said. "Gather everyone who's left. Take only essential equipment and weapons." As they prepared to evacuate, Taewon looked at the small group of survivors. Scientists, engineers, and soldiers, barely 30 people from a base that had housed hundreds. "We've been defeated today," he told them quietly. "But this is just the beginning. They think they've crushed us, but they don't understand humans. We don't give up, we adapt, we survive, and we will fight back." They emerged from the facility under cover of darkness. The world they knew was gone. Cities burned on the horizon. Alien ships patrolled the skies. Earth had fallen. But the resistance had just begun. 3 months after the initial attack, Taiwan, huddled in an abandoned subway tunnel beneath Seoul with the remnants of his team. The city above lay in ruins. The once bright lights and busy streets were now dark and empty. Alien patrols moved through the debris, searching for any humans who had escaped the labor camps. Radio contact established with Busan Resistance, reported communications specialist Hyun-Ki Lee, his voice hoarse from the underground dampness. He sat hunched over a collection of old radios and salvaged electronics, earphones pressed tightly against his head. "Any word from Jisoo's team?" Taiwan asked. He hadn't seen Jisoo since they separated a month ago. She had gone south with a small group to find more survivors. Hyun-Ki shook his head. Nothing since they went dark in Daejeon. The resistance operated in small groups, using old technology the aliens couldn't easily track. Modern systems had been compromised during the initial attack. The aliens had turned humanity's own technology against them. Engineer Min Ho-song approached, carrying what looked like a broken alien weapon. His clothes were dirty and torn, but his eyes were bright with excitement. "Commander, we've figured out how their energy rifles work," he said. "The power cells can be recharged using parts from old car batteries." Taiwan nodded. "Good work. How many can we make?" "With what we have? Maybe 10. We need more parts." "We'll get them," Taiwan promised. "What about their communication jamming?" "We found something interesting," Minho said. "When we tried different radio frequencies, we noticed the aliens react badly to certain sounds. They have very sensitive hearing. High-pitched noises seem to hurt them." This small discovery gave Taiwan an idea. That night he led a team of 6 people to attack an alien patrol. They placed old speakers from music players around an area where aliens regularly passed. When the patrol appeared, they triggered the speakers to emit a high-pitched noise. The effect was immediate. The aliens dropped their weapons and clutched at the sides of their heads. Taiwan's team quickly moved in, taking down the confused aliens and capturing their weapons and equipment. It was a small victory, but it boosted everyone's spirits. More importantly, they now had alien technology to study. Over the next few weeks, they developed more tactics. They found that the aliens couldn't see well in heavy rain, giving humans an advantage during storms. The invaders also struggled to distinguish between human heat signatures and those of large animals, so the resistance often used dogs and farm animals as distractions. Food was scarce. The aliens had taken control of major farming areas. Resistance members grew vegetables in hidden gardens and raided alien supply depots. They lived day to day, always on the move. Then one morning, a stranger arrived at their hideout. She was thin and exhausted, her clothes dirty from long travel. "I'm looking for Commander Kim," she said when the guard stopped her. Taiwan stepped forward. "Who are you?" "My name is Sunhai. I come from Daejeon with a message from Jisoo Park." The news electrified the group. Jisoo was alive. Sunhai explained that Jisoo had established a base in an old mountain bunker. She had gathered scientists and doctors who had escaped the alien roundups. "She sent me to find you," Sunhai said, handing Taiwan a small data drive. "She says this is important." The drive contained information Jisoo had gathered about the aliens. She had been studying their biology using samples taken from dead invaders. Her most important discovery was that Earth's atmosphere contained elements slightly toxic to the aliens. They could survive in it, but prolonged exposure weakened them. This explained why they always wore protective suits when outside their ships. Jisoo had also made contact with resistance groups across Asia. They were sharing information using an old network of emergency radio stations. "She wants you to come to Daejeon," Sunhai finished. "She says together you can coordinate a larger resistance." The journey would be dangerous. The aliens controlled the main roads and regularly patrolled the countryside. But the chance to join forces with Jisoo and form a larger resistance movement was too important to ignore. "We leave tomorrow," Taiwan decided. "Pack only what you can carry, we travel light and fast." That night, as the others prepared for the journey, Taiwan studied a worn paper map by flashlight. The world had changed so much in 3 months. Major cities were now alien strongholds. Vast areas had been stripped for resources. Millions of humans worked as slaves in mines and factories, but there were gaps in the aliens' control. Mountains, dense forests, and some coastal areas remained largely free. These would be the places where humanity could rebuild its strength. A week later, after avoiding numerous patrols and hiding from alien scout ships, Taewan's group reached the mountain bunker. Jisoo was waiting at the entrance, thinner than he remembered, but her eyes still sharp and determined. "I knew you'd make it," she said, embracing him briefly. "Come inside. We have work to do." In the underground facility, Taewan found more than 100 survivors. Engineers, soldiers, doctors, and ordinary people who had escaped the aliens. They had created a small community with workshops, living quarters, and even a medical center. "This is just one of many," Jisoo told him proudly. "There are others like us all over the world. The aliens think they've won, but they don't understand. Humans. We never surrender." For the first time since the invasion, Taewan felt real hope. The resistance wasn't just surviving, it was growing stronger. 1 year into the occupation, the resistance had grown stronger. Humanity demonstrated resilience beyond the hegemony's calculations. What started as scattered groups hiding from alien patrols had evolved into an organized network spanning continents. In an underground laboratory converted from an old nuclear bunker, Jisoo directed a team of scientists. The room was filled with salvaged equipment and makeshift tools. Despite limited resources, they had made remarkable progress studying the alien biology. "Look at this," Jisoo said, pointing to a screen showing cellular structures. "The aliens' cells break down when exposed to a specific protein found in common wheat." Taewan leaned closer. "You mean bread is poisonous to them?" "Not exactly. Raw wheat contains this protein, but it changes when cooked. We've isolated and concentrated it." She held up a small vial of clear liquid. "This is harmless to humans, but fatal to their primary species. Can we use it as a weapon?" Taewan asked. "If we can get it into their ventilation systems, yes. It becomes airborne when heated." Jisoo's eyes showed both determination and concern about creating a biological weapon. But the aliens had given them no choice. In another section of the bunker, engineer Minho worked with a team developing new weapons. They had captured enough alien technology to understand basic principles. Their shields block energy weapons, but not kinetic force, he explained to a group of fighters. "So we modified their rifles to fire physical projectiles charged with their own power cells." He demonstrated by firing at a target. The bullet moved with incredible speed, surrounded by a blue energy field. It punched through a thick metal plate that represented alien armor. "One shot, one kill," Minho said simply. "But we have limited ammunition, so make every shot count." Intelligence Officer Subin Kang had perhaps the most dangerous job. She led missions to capture alien communication devices and hack into their networks. After months of high-risk operations, her team had achieved a breakthrough. Their command structure is completely rigid, she reported during a strategy meeting. Every decision comes from the top down. Lower ranks cannot act without specific orders. She pointed to a map showing alien patrol patterns. That's why they follow the same routes every day. They lack initiative. This was a critical weakness. The resistance could predict alien movements and set ambushes with high success rates. As the meeting continued, a messenger rushed in. "Commander, we just received word from the European resistance. They've had the same findings about wheat protein. They call it Project Harvest," Taewan nodded. Similar discoveries were happening worldwide as humans shared information through hidden communication networks. The hegemony had expected humans to fight each other for remaining resources. Instead, people worked together against the common enemy. The greatest advantage humans had was their adaptability. The aliens evolved in controlled environments with limited biodiversity. Their homeworld had few natural threats, which made their species physically strong but biologically vulnerable. Earth's complex and often hostile environment had forced humans to adapt constantly throughout their evolution. This had given people robust immune systems and remarkable genetic diversity. The aliens are struggling with Earth's bacteria, Jisoo explained. They get sick easily. Their immune systems can't handle our world. This explained why the invaders always wore protective suits and rarely left their ships or bases without protection. What was a normal environment for humans was dangerous for them. That night, Taewon sat with Jisoo reviewing their plans. The power resistance now had cells in every major region controlled by the aliens. They had developed effective weapons and identified key weaknesses. The time for small raids was ending. They needed to strike harder. If we coordinate attacks worldwide, Taewon said, we could hit multiple command centers at once. With Subin's intelligence, we know where their leaders are. Jisoo nodded. And with Project Harvest, we can target their troops directly. She paused, looking troubled. Using biological weapons feels wrong, but they're planning to strip our planet and kill most of us. We didn't start this war, Taewon reminded her, but we will finish it. They spent hours finalizing their strategy. The plan would require precise timing and coordination between resistance groups across the globe. If successful, it could cripple the alien occupation in a single day. As dawn approached, Taewon stepped outside the bunker to get fresh air. The mountain landscape was beautiful in the early morning light. Much of Earth's natural beauty remained untouched as the aliens focused on urban areas and resource-rich regions. A young scout named Kyung approached him. Commander, patrol report. All clear. But we spotted something strange last night. 3. Alien soldiers without protective suits. They seem to be enjoying the forest. Taewon was surprised. Without suits? Are you sure? Yes, sir. They were smaller than the others we've seen. Different color markings, too. This was unexpected information. Perhaps not all aliens were the same. Perhaps some questioned what their leaders were doing to Earth. It was something to consider. As he returned to the bunker, Taewon felt cautiously optimistic. For the first time since the invasion, humanity had real advantages. The aliens had superior technology and numbers, but humans had wisdom born from millennia of survival against overwhelming odds. The resistance was ready to show the invaders what happened when they pushed humanity too far. The global counteroffensive began on a moonless night. Resistance cells worldwide struck simultaneously at hegemony strongholds. After months of planning and preparation, humanity was finally fighting back in a coordinated attack. Taewon checked his watch as his team moved silently through the sewers beneath Seoul. Above them, the alien command center controlled all operations in East Asia. Once a proud government building, it now served as the headquarters for the hegemony's regional governor. 5 minutes to position, Taewon whispered. 20 fighters followed him, carrying a mix of modified alien weapons and homemade explosives. Each person knew their role perfectly. They had rehearsed this mission countless times in an abandoned subway tunnel. Engineer Minho and his technical team moved ahead carrying special equipment. They reached a junction where power cables ran into the building above. Ready with the EMP devices, Minho reported. These devices would disable alien security systems without affecting the simpler human technology the resistance used. The design was brilliant, using the aliens' own power grid against them. All teams in position, came Subin's voice through the radio. She coordinated 3 separate groups approaching the building from different directions. Execute, Taewon ordered. Minho activated the EMP devices. Above them, alien security screens flickered and died. Guard robots froze in place. For 90 seconds, the building would be vulnerable. Resistance fighters emerged from hidden entrances, moving with practiced efficiency. Special forces led by Hyun-ki used the hybrid weapons to take down alien guards before they could sound alarms. The weapons made almost no noise, just a soft whoosh as the energized projectiles found their targets. Taewon's team headed for the central control room. They encountered 4 alien soldiers in a hallway. The aliens reached for their weapons, but the humans fired first. The battle was over in seconds. Central control room ahead, Taewon said, checking the building schematics memorized months earlier. Remember, we need the command systems intact. Meanwhile, Jisoo's team reached the environmental controls on the building's lower level. They wore protective masks and carried containers of the biological agent they had named Harvest. Accessing ventilation system now, Jisoo reported through the secure channel. She carefully connected a pressurized tank to the air handling unit. Deploying the pathogen. It will take 30 minutes to circulate through their systems. Across the globe, similar scenes played out. In North America, resistance fighters attacked the primary landing zone where alien ships delivered supplies. In Europe, underground cells targeted the main research facility, where humans were studied as specimens. In Africa, guerrilla forces struck at massive mining operations that extracted Earth's minerals for the hegemony fleet. Taiwan's team breached the central control room. The aliens inside were already showing signs of distress as the Harvest agent spread through the ventilation system. They struggled to breathe in their suddenly toxic environment. Secure the command systems, Taiwan ordered. Subin, start the hack. Subin connected her equipment to the alien computers. After studying their systems for months, she had created algorithms that could break through their security. I'm in, she reported after several tense minutes. Accessing their communication network now. This was the critical moment. If they could control the aliens' communication, they could send false orders and create confusion among enemy forces. Sending the message, Subin said. The message was simple. Return to ships. Earth environment compromised. It would appear to come from Hegemony High Command. Outside, confusion spread among alien forces. Some received the fake order, others lost contact with their commanders as the command center systems failed. Without clear instructions, they fell into disarray. The rigid hierarchy that made the hegemony efficient in normal operations became its weakness. By dawn, humans had captured the command center intact. Similar successes were reported from resistance cells around the world. The carefully coordinated attack had worked better than anyone dared hope. We've taken their command ships in orbit, reported a breathless messenger who arrived from another resistance cell. Our teams managed to dock with 3 vessels and deploy Harvest inside. The crews are dead or surrendered. This was unexpected. Good news. The plan had focused on ground targets, but some teams had aimed higher. Can we control the ships? Taiwan asked. Initial reports say yes. The navigation systems are similar to aircraft. Our pilots are figuring it out. 3 months later, Earth had assembled a small fleet of captured and modified hegemony vessels. Scientists and engineers worked day and night to understand the alien technology. We can get these ships fully operational, Minho reported after extensive analysis. Their controls are designed to be intuitive. Once you understand the basic principles, they're not that different from our own aircraft. Taiwan stood on the bridge of the largest captured vessel. Through the viewport, he could see 5 more ships being prepared for launch. The aliens had brought these vessels to conquer Earth. Now humans would use them to take the fight to the enemy. The hegemony thinks this is over, he told the bridge crew. They lost some forces but still control hundreds of worlds. They don't know we can now reach their home systems. Jisoo joined him at the viewport. The biological agent is being produced in quantity. We have enough to deploy against any hegemony forces we encounter. And the crew? Taiwan asked. Trained and ready. The best pilots, engineers, and fighters from around the world. Taiwan nodded. Then it's time. The hegemony came to crush Earth. Now they will learn what human determination really means. The captured ships rose from their hidden bases, breaking through the atmosphere into the freedom of space. Earth's counterattack was just beginning. The Earth fleet emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the hegemony home system. 12 ships, a tiny force compared to the might of an interstellar empire, but crewed by humans who had survived extinction and emerged stronger. The ships moved in perfect formation, their engines glowing blue against the darkness of space. On the bridge of the flagship, now renamed Vengeance, Taiwan looked at the view screen showing the hegemony homeworld. It was beautiful, a blue-green planet with 3 small moons orbiting around it. Massive space stations and thousands of ships surrounded the planet like a protective shell. They've detected us, reported Subin from the communication station. Their defense forces are mobilizing. Taiwan nodded calmly. Send the message. We prepared. Subin transmitted the simple message to the hegemony command. You attacked our world without warning. You killed millions of our people. You thought we were weak. You were wrong. We offer you one chance to surrender." The response was immediate. A massive fleet of hegemony warships moved to intercept the Earth vessels. There were hundreds of them, sleek and deadly, armed with weapons that could destroy planets. "They're not taking us seriously," Jisoo observed from her station. "They're only sending their standard defense force, not their main fleet." "That's exactly what we expected," Taewon replied. "Launch the communication virus." Jisoo had developed a targeted virus that could infiltrate the hegemony's network. It spread through their communication systems, jumping from ship to ship, causing confusion and disrupting coordination. On the view screen, the human crew watched as the perfectly organized alien fleet suddenly fell into chaos. Ships changed direction randomly. Some fired weapons at empty space. Others crashed into each other. "Their ships can't coordinate," Jisoo reported with satisfaction. "The virus is working even better than we hoped." Taewon gave the order. "Begin, Phase 2. The Earthship split into 3 groups and accelerated toward different targets. Taewon's group headed straight for the largest space station. Minho's ships targeted the orbital defense platforms. The third group, led by Hyun-ki, moved to engage any ships that still functioned properly. The hegemony had never faced a serious threat in their home system. Their defenses were designed to impress and intimidate, not for actual combat. The human attack caught them completely unprepared. "They're trying to adapt," Subin warned. "Their command is switching to backup systems." "Too late," Taewon said. "Deploy the harvest missiles." Special missiles containing the biological agent launched from the Earthships, targeting the environmental systems of space stations and larger vessels. Unlike conventional weapons, these didn't destroy the structures. They simply made them uninhabitable for the hegemony species. As Taiwan's ship approached the main space station, a huge hegemony battleship moved to block their path. It was 5 times larger than the Vengeance, bristling with weapon ports. "They've isolated their communications," Subin reported. "The virus can't reach them." "They're learning," Taewon acknowledged. "Minho, show them what humans can do." Engineer Minho had modified the captured ship's weapon systems in ways the aliens never imagined. Using principles from Earth's own military history, he had created unpredictable attack patterns that confused the hegemony's automated defenses. The Vengeance danced around the massive battleship, firing precisely at weapon ports and sensor arrays. 3 more Earthships joined the attack, each striking from a different angle. The huge alien vessel couldn't target the smaller, faster human ships. Within minutes, the battleship drifted powerless, its weapons disabled and life support failing. As harvest agents penetrated its hull, the human fleet pushed toward the hegemony capital world. Subin's intelligence team had identified key targets: the government centers, communications hubs, and military headquarters. "They're sending a transmission," Subin announced. "They want to talk." On the view screen, the leader of the hegemony, Council, appeared. The alien looked shocked and afraid, emotions they had never expected to feel. "Why do you attack us?" the alien demanded. "We are the hegemony. We rule 1,000 worlds." "We are humans," Taewon replied simply. "You attacked our planet. You tried to enslave our people. You thought we were weak because we welcomed you in peace. Now you see our true strength." "What do you want?" the alien asked. "Your complete surrender, recognition of Earth's independence, reparations for the damage you caused, and guarantees you will never threaten our world again." The alien hesitated, clearly unaccustomed to receiving demands rather than giving orders. "And if we refuse?" Taiwan's voice was cold. "Then you will see the full measure of human fury. We have disabled your defenses with just 12 ships. Our next wave carries enough of our biological agent to make your entire world uninhabitable for your species. You have 1 hour to decide." It took less than 30 minutes for the hegemony to surrender. 3 days later, Taiwan stood before the Hegemony Council to sign the peace treaty. The Grand Hall was designed to intimidate visitors with towering ceilings and massive statues of hegemony leaders, but the aliens now looked small and vulnerable. "We did not start this war," he told the assembled aliens. But we finished it. Remember this lesson. Earth stands free. Attack us again and there will be no second chance. In the years that followed, humanity expanded into the stars. The hegemony's empire fractured as other species, long oppressed, followed Earth's example and fought for their freedom. The humans who had seemed primitive and weak had revealed themselves to be formidable warriors and ingenious problem solvers. The galaxy learned a simple truth. Attack Earth at your peril, for human fury, once unleashed, is truly unstoppable.